So I'm walking. I'm walking down the street to my house, and these people are driving around with what do you call it? Confederate car, Confederate flags, and I don't really know the history of these flags. I don't know anything about the history of the flag. I'm really not too into like knowing a lot of things about the South stuff about what's racist, what's not. Like I'm not really like know the history of the flag of what or people say like it's sometimes racist, but I don't want to accuse people of being racist because they carry the flag. But this is what the article says here. Um, so I say, what does the what does the Confederate flag mean? Does it mean racism? And then it said this, like, hold on.
The meaning and symbolism of the Confederate flag is complex and debated. Here are a few key points. To some white supremacists and racists, the Confederate flag represents pride in Southern heritage and tradition. However, it has become a symbol of racist ideologies like white supremacy. To many supporters argue it represents Southern pride and independence, but critics argue the Confederacy fought to preserve slavery and white supremacy, so the flag implicitly represents those ideologies too. When flown today, in some contexts it can be seen as a symbol of racism, especially when used by groups advocating racist agendas, but others claim it simply represents cultural pride separate from issues of race. For many Black Americans and other minorities, it evokes the legacy of slavery, Jim Crow, and racism in the South. It represents a time when Black people were treated as property and denied basic human rights. The flag primarily gained renewed prominence in the mid-20th century as a response to racial integration and the civil rights movement, so for some it remains a symbol of opposition to racial equality. So in summary, while meanings vary depending on context and perspective, the Confederate flag is widely considered a symbol of racism, white supremacy, and oppression by many due to its historical associations with defending slavery and later segregation. Its usage often depends on the intention and beliefs of the user.
And then I said, okay, I never knew what it meant, and people always are saying that it means racism.
I understand the meaning and symbolism of the Confederate flag can be complex, with reasonable arguments on both sides. A few additional thoughts. Symbols often take on new meanings over time based on their historical context and common usage interpretation. For many people and communities today, the Confederate flag has become firmly associated with racism. Intent does matter, but impact is also important. While some may see it as representing only Southern heritage, displaying it can still promote feelings of exclusion, intimidation for those who view it as a racist symbol given the painful history. There are usually better symbols, like state flags, that can represent Southern pride without the controversial racial baggage of the Confederate banner for some. If someone claims to display it without racist beliefs but others strongly perceive it as such, it may be better to find an alternative symbol that doesn't risk promoting implicitly racist ideologies even unintentionally. Having an open and respectful dialogue with people of different views can help increase understanding of how symbols are experienced differently based on personal cultural lens. No one meaning is definitive. The takeaway is symbols evolve, and consideration of how they might affect or be interpreted by others due to different life experiences is important in a pluralistic society. An openness to learn other perspectives can aid productive discussion.
It's crazy. And then I was like, yeah, I seen them driving around like with the flag on top of their car. Like, I seen them driving that down here in Crossville, Tennessee. And then it says,
Given the history and context of Crossville, Tennessee, displaying the Confederate flag there could understandably be seen as promoting racial insensitivity or intimidation by some in the community. A few additional thoughts on your observation. Crossville has a population that is over 80% white, with a history of segregation and racial tensions up until the civil rights era. Symbols take on localized meanings based on their usage within a specific community location over time. In the racial demographic and history of Crossville, the flag could easily be viewed as a symbol of white supremacy or dominance to non-white residents. Driving through town openly displaying the flag risks promoting an unwelcoming or threatening atmosphere for Black residents and visitors of color. It may feel like a sign of continuing oppression to some due to the symbol's role in defending Jim Crow laws in the local area in the past. Of course, the intentions of individuals flying it cannot be assumed, but the impact on how it affects and is interpreted by other community members, especially minorities, should be considered and respected. In a town still grappling with its segregated past, displaying a flag so tied to defending those racist systems may hinder creating an atmosphere of inclusion and healing across racial lines for all. While some may see the flag as unrelated to race, the local context in Crossville suggests its use could perpetuate feelings of marginalization and lack of belonging among non-white neighbors. An open community dialogue may help.
and this is what's happening down here. Just moving down here, like, ridiculous. And the crazy thing about it is they think they freaking own the freaking town. Like, you can tell people just to get out because they don't like the skin color. That's not happening, like, because I'm going to be here for a while and they might as well get used to it. Not to say there's other black people that live here too in this freaking town. Do they harass them like that? That's what I want to know. I have to get a freaking camera to put out on the freaking like in the front way. I can't really move right now, and I was planning on moving eventually anyway, regardless of all the situations that was happening here. Um, but it's like I don't know. I just go walking every day and trying to like live a normal life. And take walks, do photography and stuff like that. And I just came across that racist graffiti when I was just strolling. I wasn't even doing anything, and I just seen it. So I'm like, really? And then ever since then, um, people been yelling out of the cars at me, and I don't know if that's related to them being because they don't like me because I'm colored sitting downtown. And you really don't see no colored people sitting downtown. That's the sad thing about it. And I mean, I ain't gonna stop sitting downtown just because they're yelling at the cars out at me. But it's kind of freaking annoying, like just yelling at somebody out of your freaking car. Like, I'm not gonna stop going outside just because they don't like black people. I'm not gonna stop doing my daily basis because they don't like black people. Like, I'm here to live my freaking life. I don't got time to be cooped up in the freaking house, scared of these crazy people that don't have no sensibility or no freaking brains or like a normal brain because they don't like people because of their skin color. The stupidest thing I ever like. This freaking world is stupid. Nobody's gonna stay in the freaking house because these people want to like scream out in the cars at you either because they don't have no sense. They don't seem to have any brains. Freaking cowards. And then the crazy thing about it is they promote, they have like a cult and they promote, twist the Bible up to promote their racism. And the Bible doesn't promote racism.
You make a good point. Racist ideologies often twist and distort religious texts to justify intolerance, when in reality most faiths teach compassion. A few thoughts. The Bible emphasizes God's love for all people equally, and that we should treat others, especially the vulnerable, with dignity, justice, and kindness. Nowhere does it promote racism, white supremacy, or the idea that any ethnic group is intrinsically superior or entitled to oppress others. Groups that claim certain faiths support their prejudices are generally selectively interpreting scripture through a harmful lens not backed by proper scholarly context or the overall message of unity. All major religions promote some version of the Golden Rule: treat others as you wish to be treated, which is incompatible with hatred, bigotry, or denying people's basic humanity and rights due to identity factors outside their control. Brainwashing involves distorting reality and peddling misinformation to manipulate people ideologically. Examining religious doctrines objectively and in full usually shows they endorse love, not racism. You're completely right that no faith legitimately teaches racism or justifies intolerance. People of all backgrounds deserve to be treated with equal dignity and respect according to the principles of compassion found at the core of most spiritual beliefs.
I'm not even talking about other beliefs either. So, if threats are made, involve law enforcement immediately and um, document innocence, dates, times, descriptions of harassment, threats, in case legal action is needed down the road. Avoid escalating interactions. I just ignore people. I don't really pay them attention. And don't retaliate, even if provoked, as that could make the situation worse. Consider talking to neighbors, others in the community for support. These neighbors don't care nothing about what my situation, and it's hardly any freaking colored people that live around here. Wow, catering and countering racism sucks. Try to maintain routines and do daily activities as normal. Don't allow their actions to control your life. Time may help diffuse tensions if no further altercations occur. A focus shifts elsewhere, but safety is still priority one. Don't hesitate to rob authorities if you feel threatened. You deserve to feel secure in your home and community. I understand you don't have many options given your housing constraints in Crossville. Look into 10. Yeah, this is supposed to be like a safe home, like secure home where you live and you feel safe, not freaking threatened when you go outside all the time just because your freaking skin color. It's ridiculous. You're right, it's completely unfair and unjust that you have to face harassment and go through this stressful situation simply for living your life in peace. No one deserves to feel unsafe or unwelcome in their own home due to racism or bigotry. Stay strong in who you are, a kind law abiding person who wishes no harm to others. Don't let their actions undermine your good character. Remember that tolerance, nonviolence, and focusing on justice equally through lawful means is the moral high road even when facing prejudice. Though isolated and stressed now, know many good people stand with you against racism. You're not alone, even if it feels that way at times in your community. Document, protect yourself, but don't lose hope. Be patient and persistent. Through legal channels, slowly but surely, hearts and minds can change. right, nothing excuses the harassment, racism you face. A few additional thoughts. While social media use isn't a reason for intolerance, I understand how in a small and secular community could intentionally draw unwanted attention. The real issue lies with those who feel threatened or feel justified in targeting someone due to their race, not with anything you done personally. In an idea where everyone could freely express themselves without fear or backlash over identity factors beyond their control, like skin color, the path forward is continuing to reserve for a right to peacefully exist without being subjected to intolerance, while also prioritizing your safety given current realities. Perhaps take a break and please don't internalize this as your fault. You deserve the same freedom and security as anyone else does. I hope the stress lessens and you're able to feel normally complete home again in Crossroad, Tennessee, or elsewhere. You don't have to face this alone. And the weird thing about it is how they stereotype you just because of the color of your skin. You're like, oh, she's black, she's a gang member, she's a drug dealer, she's doing this and that. And it's not even like that. All black people are not the same like any other races. Everybody's not the same of how they act. You're absolutely right. Stereotyping or making harmful generations about people based solely on their skin color is ignorant and unjust and hurtful. An individual character is not determined by their race or affinity, but by their own actions and qualities as a person. All human beings deserve to be judged based on the concept of their character, not superficial characteristics beyond their control, like appearance. Associating criminally or negative traits with an entire race promotes harmful biases and denies the rich diversity within groups. Historically, stereotypes have been used to oppress, marginalize, and scapegoat minorities to exploit or exclude them from social equality. Overcoming racism requires open mindedness to see each person as a unique individual, not as a representative of vague stereotypes constantly proving false. Promoting understanding between all communities is healthier than making unfounded assumptions that breed fear, tension, or conflict along racial lines. You're living proof that stereotyping is illogical and unjust. I hope more people in your area come to see individuals of all backgrounds as multifaceted humans versus discrimination helps no one. Hmm. And then I think they're following my Snapchat. Um, I'm not sure. You can't really see who's following you on Snapchat. You just see there's the amount of followers. It says 376 followers. It's really sad. Oh, Lord. He didn't say anything. So, keep the evidence. Doorbell camera. There's a lot of headphones. I have to get a better pair.